I greet you in Jesus' precious name. It is Wednesday morning. It's the 21st of February, 2024. And this is your friend, Angus Buchan, with a thought for the day. We go to the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 18, and I'm reading from verse 21. Then Peter came to him and said, Lord, how often shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? Up to 7 times? Jesus said to him, I do not say to you up to 7 times, but up to 70 times 7. Unforgiveness. We really need to deal with it even today. There is a cancer that eats you up if you don't deal with it. Deal with it today, my dear friend, because every single one of us has to deal with this issue of unforgiveness. I read a little story by that great author, that Russian Leo Tolstoy. He told a story about 2 little families that lived next door to each other on small farms in Russia. They were the greatest of friends. They shared everything together. If the one needed flour, he just went to his neighbor next door and his neighbor said, help yourself. If the other one needed a spare milk cow, they just walked across the fence and said, can I borrow your cow for a couple of days? No problem. They helped each other. They were like one big happy family. But then one day something happened. The one family had a chicken that laid an egg every single day. And this one day the chicken flew across the fence into the other family's farm and laid an egg somewhere in the barn and then flew back. The old lady came out to get her egg every morning as she did, and it wasn't there. She went looking for it, and she found it in her neighbor's yard. And that started an argument. The one lady said, how can you trespass onto my farm? And the woman who owned the chicken said, and how can you keep the egg? And it's ridiculous. It really is. It's laughable. But that incident started brewing, and all of a sudden, there was an argument between the 2 women. Then the 2 men got involved. Then the children got involved. And then they started getting ugly with each other. And it blew up to such a degree that the one farmer wanted to burn down the barn of his neighbor. But the sparks of the fire spread into the village and burnt the whole village down. The moral of the story is that if they had just said sorry and made up, they would have still been great friends. I want to say to you today, deal with that unforgiveness in your heart. Just forgive that person. Why? Simply because Jesus said so. That's why. I remember going to pray in a church when I was a new Christian, and the church was open during the day for a prayer day, so you could go in and out and pray. I went in to pray, but I had an issue with my minister. We had a disagreement. I was kneeling at the altar, and I felt I couldn't pray. I looked to the right of me, and who was sitting there by himself in the church was the minister. We had to get up. I got off my knees. I went up and I said, Errol, I am so sorry. And he started to weep. I started to weep. And that friendship was mended and went the full distance. Today, just say, I forgive you. God bless you and goodbye.